Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. The current challenge is Rebirth Jessica Cruz, and that's a 1 week repeat as it has been for the past long while now.
Yeah.
The required characters for that are Flash, Sinestro, and Superman, who you can get at bronze, and gold, respectively, if you're looking at the lowest tier to get them. So everybody you can get in the store, not too bad for newer players as long as you have a bit of a nest egg or these characters already.
Right.
Passive is Lantern's Might, which is each Green Lantern on her team extends her special attack 2 by 1 hit and adds combat effects. Her combo ender has a chance for Kilowog to put the opponent in stasis with his ring.
So you mentioned it used to be more important to say that it was 1 week repeat because at the beginning originally, very few characters would have repeats.
Yeah, and the new challenges were like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But now they're pretty much all 1 week.
Yeah.
So she's got 1,325 attack and the same 1,325 health. She was last available in February of 2019.
Yeah, so she's an excellent basic damage dealer with the higher stats of the later game challenge character. And when you say later game, it's still been, I think, more than a year. Oh, definitely February 2019. Yeah, way more than a year since the last time there was anybody new. She's got a bunch of extra hits on her combo ender. And despite the fact that combo enders don't always trigger, there are times where you're playing for that, right? So she's a great card for gears that have a combo ender effect, like power draining on Razagul Scimitar, or the life steal or is it heal on Gauntlets of Azrael, where you can pass it on to your teammates. Mm-hmm. So you don't get it consistently, but when you do get a combo ender, you got a lot of nice bonus effects.
Mm-hmm.
And when they mention on Kilowog that there's a chance to put the opponent in stasis, that actually effectively is like a stun. So I think there's about a 30% chance of stun on her combo ender, so that means you can effectively use Cloak of Destiny or Necron Scythe to get the boosted damage on a stunned opponent.
Yeah.
And I guess this has been a discussion over the last couple of weeks of our Q&A, and part of me feels like we might have more to follow up with. But if you don't put her on a team of Green Lanterns and you give up on the part of her passive that gives more special 2 hits, which is really good, but if you give that up, she's still a good basic damage dealer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So there we go. This week's multiplayer reward is Blackest Night Doomsday, whose passive is Dark Momentum, which is well tagged in. Doomsday's special attacks builds up over time to do a total of 2 times damage. He has 1,050 attack and 1,400 health. Last available in January of 2020, so it does look like, as we mentioned the past little while, that we are still following the larger multiplayer reward cycle after that interruption with the update to bring back the Tantu Totem Clawforce and Necron Scythe into the cycle. It looks like we're now back to following sort of a new cycle that's just 3 units bigger.
Yeah, and that cycle is just over half a year.
Yeah.
So on average, you'll see each season reward just under twice a year. So some will be twice a year, some will be maybe once.
Yeah.
So he's got good stats. I mean, they're not great in the way I like them, where there's more damage, but he's got a decent sort of combination of damage and health pool. He's had more than enough seasons that he's easily available to non-hackers, and you'll see them on non-hacked teams at Elite 10.
Mm-hmm.
And for practical purposes, where the special attack builds up over time to do a total of 2 times damage. So it's a third of a boost every 7 seconds. So after 21 seconds, I think he gets the full double boost.
Yeah, which is not terrible, but also not great.
Right, because it basically means he can't be the star of your team.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, the star, you can't. It's not going to be your tank. And in the world of Tantu Totem, it's not going to be your basic damage dealer, right? The star needs to be sort of your first high output damage dealer, and because of Tantu Totem, that means for most teams that would be somebody tagging it immediately and dropping some specials.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I mean, he could be your first guy if your team isn't good enough to, or your gear collection isn't good enough to have the main, Tantu Totem Master's Death card.
Yeah.
But I feel like he really needs to be on a Blackest Night team. and he needs to be in a Blackest Night team with Hawkgirl because. So see, here's the thing: her passive revives her teammates, makes everybody a little bit more tanky, which is not something they would generally play for. Anyways, we play almost all offense instead of defense. But the more tanky he is, the better chance he has of surviving the 21 seconds needed to get double strength specials. So I guess, without the boost, he could still be a good specialist. So the question really is, how much do you need his passive to make him any good?
Yeah.
Doomsdays tend to be a little bit slow. He's not awful.
They're slower than average, but not as slow as somebody like Solomon Grundy, where it actually becomes a little bit sort of frustrating.
Right. So, so do you make him... It's that dilemma that happens with a lot of characters because of the way their passives are. Like Metahuman Flash just a couple weeks ago. Do you make him more tanky so that he can survive the 21 seconds? Or do you generate power for him with his gear slots so that he's getting to his specials faster, even if his passive isn't going to be triggering so fast? Yeah, it's we probably need to play this team a little bit more. I think one of the reasons I've avoided it is because the passives tend to be more defensive, except when you face a damage over time team and you happen to have Blackest Night Flash on that team.
So there we go. In the store, we have the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn pack for $26.99 Canadian. That includes an extra 100,000 power credits, which is approximately a $10 value according to what you normally pay. So, like always, we say it's not worth it. And the reason why really this isn't worth it is because it's probably what next week's challenge is, and it doesn't unlock in the store. So you're paying 27 Canadian for the privilege to play with a character that has been out for a long time.
A week early,
if you don't already have them, and get one copy and not unlock them in the store, whereas, in a week, you're going to have an opportunity to unlock them in the store, get a copy for free, and with the challenge reset, get as many copies as you have time for.
So let me ask you then, would it make the proposition any better if it would unlock your store? Do you think it would be closer to being worth it?
It would, because then it's worth it situationally. It's worth it if you don't have time to play next week.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Versus here where it's not really, worth it at all because it's still just the one copy. So if you have the choice between one copy and 0 copies, it almost doesn't matter. Right? We also have the Rebirth Team character bundle for $26.99 Canadian, and this comes with Rebirth Wally West and Rebirth Green Arrow. Still doesn't unlock in your store. It's hard to say whether this is more or less worth it when you get 2 characters for the same price instead of the power credits. I'd say it's maybe a little bit more worth it, but it really depends on whether or not you want both of them.
I'd make the argument maybe that this is a better deal only because 1, you don't get the credits, and 2, Rebirth Wally West never had a challenge.
That's true. That's a good point.
So he used to be a rare drop in a special gold pack. So closer to being worth it, even if it doesn't unlock. Because I don't think, nobody has it unlocked.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. In our Survivor, we have the 4th World Gear set until the 12th of August, 2020. Phantom Zone is finished, and Fight 62 is still broken.
Yeah. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was, as expected, Sinestro, Green Arrow, and Scorpion. So we're expecting this weekend is probably going to be the Joker, Nightwing, and Darkseid. There's a link in the description to a Reddit thread that was started by Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And I guess we move on to the current glitches. That's it, right? We've got it.
So you can reach a playlist with every currently working glitch in the top right corner of this video by clicking on the little eye. We like to remind people that we're Android only, so we're only able to personally vouch for these glitches for Android, but we can mention things that we have on sort of good authority from multiple of our commenters for iOS, which we will be mentioning a little later.
And I think we take this for granted because we've been doing it for so long, but I do want to point out that that playlist, all those videos are instructional videos, and we've kept them like that because I think we've sort of found that sort of optimal balance between demonstrating and explaining it so that if you don't know how to do it, watching that video will be enough to give you an idea of not only the steps but things to watch out for
and you'll
things
also
where you might go wrong.
See us do it in real time so you can do it for yourself.
So
So starting off with the significant not working glitches, There's nothing for power credits that we're willing to endorse. So there is a glitch for power credits that currently exists, and we talk about in Season 6, Episode 9 of our P&Q and C&D why we don't endorse it. But basically, it is a device that... Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a glitch that involves being signed in to 2 devices on a single account simultaneously.
Right.
And we don't like it because even though we haven't had any reports of people being banned, we know that that type of behavior has historically carried a high risk of being banned.
Yeah,
By high risk, I mean you would be banned.
An auto ban.
Yeah.
In a way that it would be sort of trivial for them to reinstitute if they ever decided to. So,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have been saying that they've been doing it, no problem for months. Just, it's one of those things, I guess, where you get your little nest egg, and then you gotta, when you're happy with it, you need to be out.
Yeah,
because
we're not willing to risk it.
Yeah, that can change on the what is it? The thing of a dime.
Change on a dime.
Change on a
Stop
dime.
on a dime.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So in terms of other things that you can't currently do.
Yeah. So these are glitches that used to be good, but they're not anymore. So getting past multiplayer season rewards repeatedly, not working. Getting early multiplayer season rewards, not working in a way that is actually exploitable, and getting through. Well, actually, Phantom Zone's not around, so doesn't really matter right now. But there's no glitch to get through Phantom Zone early, and because there's no longer a button to watch a video to get free recharge, there's no glitch to actually exploit that either, even though there used to be.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. Now we can get to the working glitches. The glitch to let you play Phantom Zone repeatedly was still working, not relevant right now. But the important sort of related point is that the challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working. That's confirmed on the current Rebirth Jessica Cruz challenge. And we mention them together because doing one does the other. So when it's around, it's always best, even when it's not around, it's always best before you do the challenge reset to take that sort of extra second and go, is there any Phantom Zone progress that I don't want to be resetting right now that I'm going to accidentally reset?
Right.
And it's still good to go through that mental process even when there's nothing in the Phantom Zone, to just remember, no, it's fine, right? Because you always run the risk of resetting some work and having to go back and doing the same chunk of a Phantom Zone crystal again, which is not a lot of fun.
We've cut and pasted a comment from viewer Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on an iOS device. Use at your risk, your own risk. We can't test that or confirm, but feedback has been pretty good from other viewers. Breakthrough glitch, let you play repeatedly, still working. Airplane mode / refund glitch to get what you want out of packs and things with random drops, and loot boxes, also known as loot boxes and last laugh tickets. It doesn't work when the Phantom Zone is around. In the Phantom Zone for Last Crystal, because that actually requires an online connection for us.
Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. Again, a reminder to turn your clock back to normal before you finish mucking around with time.
Yeah, and so finally we're left with the one glitch that is neither working nor not working, which is the promotion glitch. The conditions haven't been right since way over a year ago, update 2.14. So it hasn't failed us because the opportunity to use it hasn't been there. The last time the opportunity was there, it still worked, but that was a long, long time ago. And we will leave it in that list until it fails us the first time that it should have been working.
So there we go. And that's it for this video. To finish up, we'd like to give a huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. So that's a huge thank you to Console Peasant and Edwoon, who are supporting us at the top tier Last Word, Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C. and Irvin Ruiz, who are supporting us on the accredited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet Dani, Awesomegamer 241, and Pavu RS at the gratitude level. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.